Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Andy here. I coach men and women on living lives of abundance and joy. If they can do it, you sure as hell can too. So much of this self improvement journey, we feel like we have to do things alone. We feel like it's us versus the world. I'm going to be the guy that goes outside and hits on all the women, and no one's going to help me. It's me by myself, and holy crap, I don't know if I can do this. Or some of you that are struggling with addictions and habits that you want to let go of. You think it has to be you and your willpower against those habits. You think you have to sort of force yourself to just stop looking at porn or stop drinking or stop playing video games or whatever it might be that you struggle with. Or maybe you're building a business, and I've definitely felt like this at times. You feel like it's you versus the world and the underdog story, and can I go from having no idea what I'm doing to making a 5-figure a month income? You feel like it has to be you all by yourself against the world or against the enemy or against yourself, I guess. And a lot of people struggle. A lot of you struggle thinking that you have to do all of this shit alone or that you should be strong enough on your own. I think especially for you men listening, and I'm obviously a man too. I have a cock and balls between my legs, just like a lot of you. I think as men, we have this temptation or this story running in the back of our heads that we're not man enough if we don't do it by ourselves. Like that it's cowardly to ask for help. Or we kind of know that we'd benefit from help and that we'd get more done, but we have this little ego or this big ego that says, yeah, but I want to see how much I can do by myself. And if I need help, I'll ask for it. And we kind of miss the whole point that people helping you or even people just supporting you will make you achieve the goal 10 times more. And it's not so much about needing the help. I think a lot of times we're afraid of needing help. And we're like, I don't need help. And it's like, yeah, but you'd benefit from it. And this is a lesson that I'm still learning. I still often try and build my coaching business by myself. And lots of my friends will reach out to me and offer help or ask me how it's going. And I often just push it away. I think a really good example of this is my friend Cam, who's obviously helped me build the business a hell of a lot. He will offer many, many, many times, how's it going? Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to chat and brainstorm? Can I give you suggestions? Can I do anything? Can I take things off your plate? And now one of my other coaches, Taylor, reaches out to me, every month or so and says, hey, what can I do to take some stuff off your plate? How can I help you? And I often have that same voice in my head that a lot of you have that says, well, I don't want to be a burden. I know they're offering help, but I can do this by myself. And maybe that's true. Maybe I can. Maybe some of you can do this shit by yourself. But I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to drag them down. I don't want to hold them back. They have their own shit to deal with. It's my job to build this by myself. It's my job to have my shit together. I won't let people help me. Now, I've often felt the same way or gone down that same path with my relationship with Imogen. She's actually fairly decent at asking her friends for help or talking to her friends about stuff. But I will often just sort of tell myself, no, it's fine. I can just go and meditate on this. I can go and read some books and feel better. And that stuff does help. But there's been lots of times when I've maybe not struggled, but I've had thoughts or I've had emotions or I've had feelings in this relationship with Emmy. We've been together for 7 years. There's been some moments of struggle, no shit, right? And a lot of the time in those moments, I won't reach out to my friends to ask for help or to talk about it because I'm like, why? I can handle it by myself. I can journal, I can do the work, I can meditate, I can process it. I can use these tools that I have, and those tools do work. But I found that they are never even remotely as effective as just talking it out with a friend or letting a family member help me or letting someone care. A problem shared is a problem halved. And I think a lot of you feel the same way. Maybe you don't get a wingman to go out with you and hit on girls, even though that would make it 1,000 times easier because, I don't know, you don't want to be a burden or you don't want to put in the effort to find that person or you're worried that no one will support you or you're worried that blah, 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 blah. There's all these reasons and limiting beliefs and excuses. Or maybe you have wanted help with this stuff, with dating, with business or whatever. And you've thought about joining a forum or you've thought about paying me for coaching or you've thought about, reaching out and getting someone to be your accountability partner. But again, you're like, nah, that's effort. I can do it by myself. And maybe you can. It's just that it will probably take 5 or 10 times longer. And you'll probably have 10 times more struggles and 10 times more setbacks because you have nobody to pick you up in those moments when you're feeling a little down or you're feeling demotivated or you're tired or you're exhausted. And so asking for help isn't weakness. It's intelligent. It's smart. You're literally going to achieve 10 times more if you let people help you. And the beautiful thing is, and I remind myself of this sometimes, you're not a burden on them because you ask for help. A lot of people want to help. I'm an example of this. There's a guy in my coaching group right this second that I gave him a big pep talk because he was worried about being a burden. He was worried about sharing his problems with the group. And I basically said, you're doing me a fucking favor when you share. I like helping people. I genuinely love when people share their struggles and I get to help them. It brings me a lot of joy. And so don't think you're doing me a favor by not sharing. I would prefer you to share. You're doing me a favor if you do share. And there are people out there in your life or people that you could go and meet that would be that for you, that would love to help you. You just haven't asked them for help. And the other thing to think is you're not a burden because you can offer that person something in return. If they're a coach, you can pay them. If you came to my coaching group, you would be paying me. And so you wouldn't be a burden because you're paying me. I'd be fucking grateful. But if it's just a normal friend or someone who's helping you or a wingman who's helping you talk to girls, you can offer them gratitude. You can offer them help. If they're a little bit further ahead than you and you don't have a lot of advice or wisdom for them, you can just offer them gratitude and motivation and say hey, how can I help you? I don't have a lot of advice. I don't really have a lot of wisdom, but I can motivate you. I can give you a pep talk. I can cheerlead for you. I can tell you I believe in you, which counts for a hell of a lot. And I think a lot of the time we sit there and we think we're going to be a burden, but you don't have to be. That's sort of like a loser's mindset or a losing mindset. Oh, I'm a burden. It's it's not a static, fixed thing. You are capable of giving to that person rather than saying it's hopeless and I'm a burden and there's nothing I could do to help them. I don't want to ask for help because I'm just a burden. No, take control of it, I guess, or take responsibility of it and say, no, I'm not going to be a burden. I'm going to give to them as much as they're giving to me, whether that's gratitude, advice, motivation, whatever it might be. Even just a thank you is a hell of a lot. And so letting other people help you rather than trying to do this shit on your own means you'll achieve 100 times more in 100 times less time, with 100 times less effort, with 100 times less struggle, and you'll have someone that can pick you up and celebrate with you and all of that sort of beautiful stuff. And so you're not a burden for opening up. You're not a burden for letting people help you. It's the smarter thing to do. You're also building connections with people. Again, people like shared experiences. They like going through a shared struggle together. And you'll find that you form these beautiful bonds when you're opening up to them and they're opening up to you about what it is that you struggle with. Connection and vulnerability make life richer and easier. And so be that social being that you actually are. Humans thrive with support, not doing everything on their own. Reach out to someone today. Reach out to someone and say, do you want to go outside and talk to girls with me? Go on Bumble. There's a friendship section on Bumble. Go make some friends on there and just be like, hey, I'm on a mission. I want to go outside and learn to talk to girls. Do you want to do this with me? Or if you're building a business, find some forums or find some accountability partners. I recently reached out to 3 of my friends and said, hey, dude, do you want to keep me accountable with building my business? And I'm going to keep you accountable with you building yours. And of course, they all said, hell yeah, brother, I would love that. So there's tons of people that will help you for free. There's tons of friends. You can even get your family members to help you. And even if they have no advice, no experience in the thing you're trying to do, they can at least tell you that they believe in you. They can at least say, we'll be there for you if you struggle. There's also coaching, there's therapists, there's whatever it is that you might need. There's so many people out there willing to help you. And I'm obviously one of those people. You're very welcome to reach out to me and I can help. But there's so many people that want to help you and you'll get 10,000 times more done if you let some of those people help you. And not just that, but you'll get to form a beautiful connection and a bond with them. A bond based on gratitude and helping each other. And you can help them just as much as they help you. You're deserving of support and connection. You don't have to do this shit alone. And so why not reach out to someone today? A friend, a family member, you're welcome to reach out to me, maybe go on a forum, whatever it might be, but reach out to some other human being and even just say something like, hey, here's a goal I'm working on. Do you think you could keep me accountable? Or do you think like once a week I can share my wins and celebrate with you? And who doesn't want to say yes to that? People love celebrating, so of course, people are going to say yes to that. And like I said, if you want more help with this, I actually right now have a sale on a big, amazing sale on my coaching. You get $2,000 off the usual price, and you get an extra 4 weeks of coaching, so 16 weeks instead of the usual 12. I will leave a link in the description below to that. That is only for the next roughly 30 days. And mention this deal when you sign up, and you will get this beautiful offer. Like I said, I'm very happy to help. I enjoy helping people, and so you'd be doing me a favor as much as you'd be doing yourself a favor, and future you will thank you. So I'm happy to jump on a free call with you and talk details. We also offer payment plans. We can make it work, whatever your circumstances. But yeah, reach out to someone, whether that's me, whether that's someone else, and let people help you. And you can help them in return. You'll find you get 10,000 times more done. It's much more fun. And you don't have to feel so fucking lonely.